building Secretary Castro off the subtitle of your book, Waking Up from My American Dream. And so I'm wondering, who's still feeling good about America? Who's still feeling like, you know what, I'm all in. 1776, suckers. Let's do this.
Well, there are a few billionaires that are feeling great about America.
Oh, I mean just among y'all. No, there's a whole lot of people.
Oh,
yeah.
Among us.
So I'll start with you, Secretary Castro. Does waking up from a dream mean departing it, leaving it? Or I think of how many dreams I've awakened from and written them down and wanted to remember them, so I remember to act on them. Where are you with your American dream these days?
Yeah, I think for me it was like a lot of folks realizing that the idea of the American dream that we've been sold of owning a house and owning a car, and first of all, it's very materially based. Doesn't fulfill the soul, is not sufficient in any real human way. And then also that our relationship with America and with our society is so much more complicated than that. And that there's such an obstacle course even to get to that plasticky version of the American dream, right? But mostly that the American dream means something way beyond material things. And I would say that, and I hope for this youngest generation, that part of the American dream includes what we're talking about today: racial justice, social justice, true equality in the United States of America. That should be the American dream writ large. I grew up with a mom that was a Hellraiser, a Chicana activist in the 1960s and mostly 70s. And she was part of a third party called La Raza Unida Party, the United People Party, that ran because they were frustrated with both Democrats and Republicans that they didn't think at the time were meeting the needs, mostly of Mexican Americans in the southwest of Texas. And so I grew up, with a mom who was trying to change the system in a democratic way, but in small d, but unconventional way. And I grew up with a healthy amount of skepticism and at times cynicism about whether in this country, if you were brown, or if you were black, if you were Asian, if you were different, could you really live out your dreams? And could we really change anything through our democratic process? So I guess in me, I've always had a little bit of skepticism, but getting into politics, into public service, was sort of taking the leap and saying, no, we actually can make a difference. If you had asked me the question about how do you feel about it 3 years ago, during the Trump years, I would say that I was very frustrated and almost angry. And when I look back on my 2020 campaign, that campaign, the tone that came out of my campaign was darker and angrier than I had ever been before in politics. And if we ran that campaign right now, reran it, it wouldn't quite have that angry, darker tone. But I think in many ways, it was a genuine tone because it fit the urgency of that time with that leadership. Then I think, well, so many of the challenges that we faced, it's not like they disappeared in the last couple of years, right? But to me, the challenge, especially if you're in politics, is always to have that sense of urgency, but to be able to project it in an optimistic and constructive and inclusive way if you actually want to win.